sweaty, and I'm mad because it's winter. But yeah, it is getting to be like 30, which is nice. Honestly, can't really complain. Yeah, nothing super exciting. Just getting some stuff done.
Good morning, Hayley. Are you there? Are you with us yet? No.
I am. I'm here. Sorry, my computer's just having a moment. Hi.
How was your weekend? Did you get up to anything?
What can I do? Sat outside for a bit. This is exciting.
We were just saying it was lovely and sunny Saturday.
Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah, was it?
Hey, by the way,
Yeah,
yes, it was.
Every day
Come on.
for one, wasn't it?
Did you have another sort of into the AM, into the wee hours board game with the family? What? Maybe that's why.
Yeah, we have way too many drinks, and then it just gets like overly competitive, and no one wants to like give up until they've won like once. It just gets ridiculous, really.
Hey, by the way, Emily and I may be recording all or parts of today just to see if we can work out how we're going to mock up a few TikToks, just so you know. So look spunky.
Stresses me out.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any audio, so you can say whatever you'd like, but
Yeah. That means you can still swear, Ben. Within reason. We've got guests. Hey, did you follow up? Do you want to send a text to Martin if you're not already doing that, maybe, Jake?
Yep.
Just see if he's going to join us.
I don't think he will, but I will send him a text.
No worries. That'll help with our timing. Did we miss anybody yet, Adrian?
I think just Ben, that we spoke to him before.
Yeah, I didn't do much. I had work all day Saturday, and I had work Sunday, so like I didn't do anything.
Man.
I had a relatively sober weekend.
What?
First time in like months.
Was that at so that was at Rivers, yeah?
Yeah, all day Saturday in Morley, and then half the day Sunday at Clarkson. So.
And what's the biggest sellers at present out of the Rivers store?
Oh Jesus Christ! God, off the top of my head, probably. Well, it's Father's Day coming up this weekend, so lots of men's products.
Yeah.
Men's clothing.
Can I ask what Rivers is?
It's an old business shop.
Okay.
The average age of our customers is around 126.
Okay.
So there's actually quite a lot of them in the country, isn't there, as well? They're sort of a country, and I always think they're more blokes. Would that be fair to say, or no?
That's a fair. They started off as a bloke shop. I know that, and I know that when we were closing stores in Victoria, that all the country stores stayed open for a bit, and there was actually quite a few country stores in Victoria. I still considered that sort of blokey, outdoory sort of store.
There you go. So there's a lot of flannel type shirts.
We sell them every year.
Well, I love a good flannel.
Yeah. And Lauren, are you all set?
Yeah, I'm all set.
I modified your slide just minorly, so
Okay.
I actually just put in your Instagram account as one of the things that you actually have a look at.
Okay.
I figured we could probably, given that you hadn't done anything with triple centered, it made more sense that you actually have that you actually had Gossip Girl in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
I was trying to work out where else I'd put it, to be quite honest. Yeah. How are we going for time? 3 more minutes. Anybody got anything exciting that they want to share in the last 3 minutes before we get fired up? You didn't get any calls from John Velos over the weekend, Hayley?
No. Oh my god. I think he's got off me. I'm really stressed. No, I didn't. I got a few emails, but that's about it.
Hey, I'll talk about, but maybe because I've got the time now, I'm just going to quickly run through that I need to make a little bit of time with just about all of you. In fact, I think it is all of you, right? Adrian, we need to just make 15 minutes in the next 24 hours just to talk about a new applicant that's come in from Victoria that I just want to talk about process, what we might do there. It's consistency. Siri's not here. Andy, just need 15 minutes just to touch base and with Coin and Melissa. Yep. Yeah, Peter, I think we'll probably book an hour where we'll just basically try and resolve that issue. Hayley, just 15 minutes just with your application this week. I reckon we go this week.
Yeah, that's fine. I tried to book in on Facebook because we need to do the John Velos stuff.
Yeah.
Just didn't have any appointments today.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. So just we'll always find that for you. It's just I blot it out so that I can have appointments with you. Yep. So maybe just with that sort of thing, just put it in the private in the project itself. Hannah, we need book it. We'll do it as an hour with you and Anthony, and I'll see Anthony's there as well. So from a fashions perspective for you and a sport with Anthony. And realistically, that becomes a real-time sort of discussion as well. So, but I need to book an hour with both of you, probably Wednesday morning, if that's okay.
I think we organised 9:30 on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think I put that in. I'm just since we did that. So as you said, I think that was good because I blotted it out in my calendar. We'll probably do an hour.
Okay.
And we'll do an hour with each of you just to talk through what we're going to do. Yeah. Trisha, would do an hour probably sometime on the Tuesday to talk about Snapchat in the same way as we do TikTok. We'll do that on the day that we talk about Sydney, which is tomorrow, yeah?
Yep.
And then...
Tiz sent an email saying she wants to move the meeting
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, we're on that. So that's all right. I think earlier, yeah, so we'll do that. So that should be okay. We got flexibility to do that. Jakey, just 15-minute touch base on merch. Just stay on it, yeah. Lauren, an hour. I think you've already booked, but we just to talk about influence and that side of things, yeah. Ria, we need to do our normal, just a 15-minute, but then we've got 2 hours with Tim on Friday. Ben, after you've been to London on Thursday, we'll just book in an hour maybe on Friday just to work up a plan. If you can Friday, I don't know what your work time looks like. You may not be able to, but anyway, we'll either this week or next, just to talk about London. And then Evelyn's here now too. So Evelyn, I just want to book an hour with you just to talk about B1G1. And so today, can I make sure that you have your ears especially pricked with everybody's going to talk about their shared, who they're looking at. If they don't want to jump on Blue Dragon or .com Mob, then if they've got a particular project that resonates with them, I just want to get you connected with the B1G1 people, and we might then have them as a guest at some point too. But now we've hit 10:31, so I'm going to say a quick hello. We'll do a quick audio check for. Do we need to do Anthony and Siri maybe, Adrian?
Morning.
Morning. Oh, Anthony's there too.
I'm there.
Did you guys enjoy the Saturday sunshine in Melbourne?
Very much.
Awesome. All right. I will. Seeing that all right? Adrian, can you see that? Yep. Awesome.
Everyone looks good.
Everyone's looking good. Siri, do you just want to acknowledge, read that acknowledgement for us?
Yep. So we acknowledge that we are on the traditional lands of the Kulin Nation. We offer our respects to the owners and these traditional lands, and through them to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples past and present.
Awesome. We all know the layout of today. So thanks for that. Rightio, Adrian, who we got? Just picking maybe a couple of the things in red here.
Emily, if you can read through some of the stuff in red in this slide, just go over what resonates with you.
So our mission is to protect brands, build relationships, and grow businesses using social media marketing. Our purpose is to gain competitive advantages for businesses using social media marketing tactics that include Facebook advertising to attract and retain more customers. Do I pick my favorite value?
I reckon.
Yeah, just go through your favorite value.
Okay, my favorite value is community. We are social online and in person. I am a big believer that you need to have a solid community in order to succeed. So I think that that's a good way to start.
Awesome, thanks. And I think we're going to continue along, maybe just to talk through some of the objectives, because people often come to us, don't they, around their objectives. So maybe just speak through the objectives there.
Still me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Our objectives are, again, to protect, build, and grow, and attract and retain your audience. So protect means build equity in your brand and businesses online and through social media websites. We're going to differentiate, keep you different from your competitors, be top of mind, which is we want your target community to be thinking about you and create like touch points for them. And we're going to increase business development opportunities by exploring interests and inquiring via the website, phone, email, or brick and mortar venue.
Hey, thanks, Emily. We probably threw you in a little bit there because I mixed up these slides up until now. But what I realised is that because there's a bit of repetition on those two slides, but the main point, because you know when people come at us saying, "Oh, how many more leads can you give me?" or "How many more sales can you give me?" There's an element of like, well, it kind of depends. Like, how good are you? How good are you at closing? It's not really the language we use, right? And unless you know your objectives, then it's probably going to be pretty hard for us to deliver on them, right? So we need to basically reverse brief the objectives for them. Hey, these are the objectives that we believe you should be achieving for your business, right? We want to protect and build brand equity for you, right? Through your social media sites. We want to differentiate you from your competitors. We want you to be top of mind with your target communities. And ultimately, yes, we want to build business opportunities for you. There's a long and short tail, remember? The long tail is a bit like BNI business networking. People will do business with you if they know, like, and trust, correct? Right? One of the reasons we're going to try and get you guys into BNI probably as quickly as possible now is because the earlier you're in there, the earlier you're going to start building those trustful relationships, right? Adrian, I think, acknowledged pretty early on that it was tough for him to kind of get business until he was part of the BNI. Once you're part of the BNI, you're part of the family, right? All of a sudden people go, oh, okay, they're serious about this. So ultimately, that's the long tail. The short tail is, yes, we can advertise for you. And that's where you'll get your quick wins, right? That's the short tail and where you're probably going to achieve what you're actually coming here asking us for, right? Oh, get me sales, get me leads. Not our language, but we'll try and get customers coming back to you and get new customers, right? All right.
Okay, Andy, can you have a go at going through the infographic today?
Yep. Okay. Alright, so here is our small business house. On the top, social media forms a small part of promotion and communication. Down here, we have your online circles. This is your competitors. This is how your competitors network and customers perceive you and your business. Social media is used to either educate or entertain. So instead of creating content, what we do is we repurpose content from your website and share them to your socials in form of posts. This is how we're able to offer such an affordable service. For a one-off fee, we do a social setup where we make your Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google My Business all-star and top-notch. Through these platforms, we aim to retain and acquire new prospects. Why this is so important. So less than 50% of small businesses have ever used social media, and only 35% have advertised. This is concerning because more than 90% of Australians use social media, especially Facebook. We expect to reach We expect each Facebook post to have a 1 to 10% reach of your page following, and recommend a $5 a day budget in ad spend to maximize your reach. We have a initial console and audit fee that is waived if you decide to proceed with us. We don't do smokes and mirrors, so we are very transparent in our pricing, which can be all found on our website. Yes.
I reckon that's awesome. Nailed it. Well done. Awesome, mate. That's good. Just so you know, if you haven't got the pattern to this, right? So realistically, we've got Emily and Andy presenting next week. So again, if you're looking at your order of who's coming up when, then there's a likelihood that you're the one that's going to be doing it before it's your presentation the next week, right? So, and just on that, just so I don't finish up, and I haven't given you the clear communication around this, but just when it is your turn, so next week we've got, who's our presenters next week? Oh, well, we've just done them, Andy and Emily, but can I just ask that you both have a go at trying to put that together, your slides together by Friday, end it, by Bubbles on Friday, that way by the weekend I can put it into the slides and we'll all be ready. What I thought was good, and what I thought was good, Lauren, I think shared with Rhea, and that's not a bad way to go, is, just if you got a buddy up there, wherever you are, just have a chat and, and you could always just show them if you want to, share with somebody else. So that's that. Thanks for that, Andy. Good job. I'm not going to focus too much around here. We know what we're looking for in the BNI chapters that we're visiting. We're finding them in most. I think we're getting really close. I think we're about 80% of people are pretty close to, knowing which chapter they've got an application and which they're going to be doing, where they're going to be going. If I haven't made it clear, I think Hannah, Trisha, Emily, probably all of Queensland, you already know where you want to go, right? So get the application. Let's put it in. We'll put it in this week, and probably not time for you to go as the applicant. I think it's only your second visit tomorrow anyway, Trisha. But on third visit, if you like it this week, just go back again next week, Trisha, and you'll go as the applicant next week, right? Can you hear that, Trisha?
So, sorry, Steve, do the application this week and then next week go as an applicant?
So if you're going to the chapter that you intend to join, make sure you've already got an application from that chapter. Complete it this week, and on your third visit, which will probably be next week, you'll go as the applicant.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Cool. All right. The kids are coming, which may well make a good TikTok. All right. Well, we do have a guest today. Welcome to Tim. So Tim and I have known each other probably for a year or two now, Tim, I reckon. But we met initially through a barter card event, and Tim came up and introduced himself, and we worked out we're both Monash kids, Monash Uni that is. And so I've always enjoyed chatting with Tim, and he's a really great guy. And so I'll leave it to you, Tim, to introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Steve, and excited to be here. Like Steve said, I'm a graduate from Monash University, very much like you guys, a marketing degree. So I previously worked full-time as a business development manager for Bartercard. So that was 2 years. So I really enjoyed the sales aspect and communication. But along that whole period, I started a podcast where I was talking to peak performers in their field. So I've interviewed people like Jim Penman, who's the owner of Jim's Mowing, Jim's Cleaning, Jim's freaking everything. And basically, at the end of my university degree, I saw an opportunity to just go full-time into the podcasting scene and not only help people produce their own shows, but also show them a way that they can get a large wealth of content by producing a 45-minute episode and then splintering that up into little snippets. So that's what I've been doing this year. And yeah, Steve and I, so why I'm here chatting with you guys is we've come up with an idea to do a bit of a project, a podcast or an interview series with all of you and yeah, really excited to get into it and yeah, have a chat with all you. But that's, I guess, a short sum up of me. And
Yeah, so we're just gonna raise our arms to the sky and stretch up.
Can we wiggle our fingers?
Yep. Wiggle our fingers, you can wave it from the air, do whatever you want. Then we're gonna come down and we're just gonna roll back twice. And then forward twice. Okay, all stretched out.
How good is a good stretch, Tim Beanland? Did you enjoy that?
that was fantastic. Thanks, Judy.
Yeah, that was awesome. Rightio, I'd better turn presentation back on again. There we go. And Adrian, did you remember just in here what we're trying to focus on just as far as systems this week?
Yeah, just to make sure everyone has their Dropbox system loaded up on their computer so they can access it properly through their computer rather than the online system, and to make sure that you have access to the proposals, projects, and your BNI project as well in those folders.
Yeah, you should be getting to a stage where you're sort of going to and from similar sort of areas on a regular basis. Clearly, you've got your own marketer info. You've got proposals that might be coming up. You've got your BNI stuff, and then clearly any projects. So there's a couple of things. Firstly, if you find that things start weighing heavily on your computer, you can actually just make it so it's online only. So put it back into the cloud so it doesn't weigh too heavily on your computer. Including these, I've done that for these PowerPoints today. But yeah, just really make sure that you take full advantage of Dropbox and what that means. And also we need to educate clients around that too. Certain clients at times want to share everything back to us at Basecamp. The problem with that is that it means that we have to download and upload, right? We want them using Dropbox so it saves us time. Everything's about being time efficient. Does that make sense? Sweet. All right. Well, I'm excited because sharing with us next is the wonderful Lauren, who is our Dify social media marketer based in Glenelg. She has completed a degree in marketing communication from the University of South Australia. She has a burning desire to have a career that she's enthusiastic about. Something not many people know, at least outside of this room, because we generally tell people. In the 2012, she created and developed an Instagram account. This account currently has 556,000 followers worldwide with a strong presence in USA, Mexico, Brazil, Italy, and the UK. Her key to success is realizing that her actions ultimately control her success. Over to you, Lauren.
Yep. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Lauren McGregor, and I'm the Dify social media marketer here in Glenelg, Adelaide. A little bit about me. So, I recently completed my degree in marketing communications at the University of South Australia. And a little bit about me outside of work. I love to see my friends. We normally go out for dinner or a walk as I live near the beach. I love to cook as well. I'm a massive foodie. My favourite cuisine to cook would be Spanish. And I love to exercise as well. I exercise about 6 times a week. It helps to keep me mentally and physically healthy. I also like to travel. As you can see in the photos, Paris will be my favourite place to go, and I can't go there at the moment, which sucks, but hopefully in a few years' time whenever COVID sorts itself out. So, moving through to Dify Social's mission, purpose and values. So our mission is to protect brands, build relationships and grow businesses using social media marketing. Our purpose is to gain competitive advantages for businesses using social media marketing tactics that include Facebook advertising to attract and retain more customers. So these are our 5 Dify social values. So I'm not going to go through them all, but I'll talk about the one that I connect most with. So that would be integrity. So we educate why and what we do. We are fully transparent in our processes and we never overpromise. So in my daily life, I aim to act with integrity with everything I do. I have very moral principles and I always aim to do right. I can most with that value. Moving on to digital services. So these are a list. I'm going to go through the different services that we offer. So for BNI members, we do one-to-ones. For businesses interested in social media marketing, after a chat, we offer an audit and consult. Then we move on to setup and planning. Then we move on to social media marketing, communications, and Facebook ads management and reporting. So we have all of the prices associated with each service listed on our website. So our unique selling proposition is that Dify social media marketers are university qualified marketers, and the following model on the next slide I'm going to talk about has successfully been applied to hundreds of businesses. So this is our social media marketing model. So as you can see in part one, social media sits in the promotion and communication part. And the idea is that no amount of social media marketing will make a business who doesn't have a strategy or marketing plan any better. It will just make them fail faster. So if we move down to two, online, we want to make sure that we set you up to be the best representative of your business and we show you how to do it. So we want to make sure that your LinkedIn is an all-star profile. We also make a LinkedIn company page as it helps you to appear bigger online, and we show you how to connect on LinkedIn. So we want to know what your rivals are doing to a degree. We also want to understand your networks and customer base, and we understand that your customers look like your prospects. So if we move over to the middle part at the top, we understand how a good website should be set up. So you should have your logo and slogan, banner ad, your services and products listed, have a clear call to action, and have social media plugins. We also help to insert a Facebook pixel code to track visitor flares and assist in remarketing. So if we move down to the bottom part, we see that we use a strategy to put all of your content from your website and share it to social. Most powerful we use being Facebook with 16 million plus users, and Facebook owns Instagram, which is 9 million plus users. We also use LinkedIn as it allows you to direct a personal message to businesses, and we set you up to appear well on LinkedIn, giving you an all-star profile. We also use Twitter as it is a good asset to show where you are located. And the two main search engines we help to set you up on is Google My Business and YouTube, as they are the most popular online. So if we move over to audience, yellow tells us that there is an incredible opportunity for small business, and yet less than 30% have any strategy. Less than 50% of businesses have ever done social media, and less than 30% have ever advertised online. 5% of businesses are likely to get new or retain business from the result of social media marketing. So there's a lot of opportunity for small businesses to start to use social media online. So let's move to the next slide. So we would love to work with professional, fun, essential and online businesses, any type of business who is looking to make their social media presence a strong asset. In terms of our target communities, we want to work with people who are passionate about what they do and are good at providing their professional, essential or online business services. Usually our clients are between 40 to 60-year-old business owners that aren't quite sure how to use social media platforms effectively to promote their business online. We're here to help people like that gain control of their social media and use it to their advantage. So thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I like to connect first on LinkedIn, but if you like to go old school, I'm happy to chuck you an email or a text or have a phone call. Thank you very much.
That was unreal.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Fantastic. All right, so next we've got, and let me just go back on the presentation so we've got that in front of us as well. Bear with me. And this,
I've got to follow that. I've got to follow that. That is
there you go.
good.
This handsome gentleman here is Ben Hale. So Ben is our Diffy social media marketer in Wanneroo, which is north of Perth. And he's been there for the past 14 years since moving to Australia from London, England. And he's graduated in 2020 with a Bachelor of Marketing and Advertising and PR. He's spent 7 years working in retail and also as an event coordinator for a not-for-profit for 2 years. His burning desire has helped Diffy establish itself as, I'll start that again. I should be able to read this well, you would have thought. Help establish Diffy as the best social media marketing consultancy in WA. I reckon you're well on your way to doing that. Something not many people know about Ben, he once broke his wrist when a rock got caught in the wheel of Heelys. What's that? Of Heelys. My mum, who is a nurse, told me to stop at being a drama queen, but once a consultant doctor turned out that the ulna and radius were both bent backwards and the bones of my wrist were broken. I need a cast all the way up to your shoulder to mend it. How old were you at the time, Ben?
I was 12.
Jeez.
And my mum works in the ICU as a nurse.
Right.
And yeah, so both my bones and my arm were bent outwards and the wrist was broken completely. And she told me to stop being a drama queen.
Jeez. Your key to success, I see here, is to say yes, even if you're unsure. You can, and you'll just learn along the way. The thing I'm loving about this is a lot of you guys all shared this when we spoke to you in the first interview, so I'm glad that you're all sticking with your guns, so good on you. Over to you, Ben.
All right, so let's just talk about me for a sec before we talk about Diffy Social. So as you can see, I'm a very social person who likes to spend most of his time out and about on the weekend with his friends, either dining on food at restaurants or going out and drinking at pubs and bars. If I'm not out during the week, I tend to spend most of my time at the gym, or I spend it playing tennis with my friend when he's back inside. I'd also just like to clarify that the kid in the photo isn't mine. The kid in the photo is my friend, but he has asked me to be the godfather for it, which is concerning. So let's talk about Diffy Social. So Diffy Social's mission is to build, grow, and protect businesses using social media marketing. Our purpose is to gain competitive advantages for businesses using social media marketing tactics that include Facebook advertising to attract and retain more customers. Our main value is to have fun and do good, but we also align ourselves with BNI's philosophy of givers gain. So what do we actually offer at Diffy Social? Well, for BNI's members, we offer a one-to-one chat where we get to find a bit about your business and you get to find out a bit about ours. And if you like what you hear, we then go and do an audit and consult. So we take a snapshot of what your business currently looks like online and then tell you about your strengths and weaknesses across your social media. If you like what you hear from there, we then go to a setup and planning session where we set up your 6 social media channels and we plan what's going to be posted on each channel. We then start the scheduling and Facebook ad management and then move on to reporting as well. But what makes us so different? Well, we're all Diffy social media marketers are university qualified, and we follow a social media marketing model that's been applied to hundreds of businesses across the country. So the social media marketing model, as you can see, social media sits in the comms part of your business, right next to all your other marketing communications, such as your SEO, your digital marketing, and all other marketing comms that you may have done. We use a repurposing model, whereby we take the content that's put on your website and display it and make it user-friendly for social media. That way, people who find you on social media are directed back to your website where they can contact you about your business and services. This is important as we know that less than 50% of businesses don't use social media and less than 30% actually advertise on social media. And just like all good marketing communications, we have got a comprehensive method to figure out if you're getting a return on your investment. So, who's our customers? Well, our customers are all professional services who actually want to have a social media presence online, but don't want their 21-year-old daughter who uses Instagram all day to set it up for them. We also like to connect with essential services who want to stay active even during COVID and continue to communicate with their customers. We also like to communicate we also like to work with online businesses as they gain an additional benefit from both of us using online channels. And our main target audiences, well, they're Peter and Peter. They're between 43 and 63. They own their own business and they own their own small business between 2 to 10 people, and they're very passionate about what they do. They can deliver their products and services very well, but they're a bit worried about the new kids on the block with the new fancy technology and new fancy social media. So they would like a professional marketer to set up their social media for them, and So if you'd like to get in contact with me, feel free to flick us a message on LinkedIn, or if you're a bit old school, you can send us an email or an SMS. Thank you very much.
Woohoo! That was awesome. Did anybody feel like there was a little bit of less is more in that? I reckon that was really, really well done, because I reckon you just gave the best, real executive, tight executive summary on it, and you kind of made me want to find out more. So, and I think that's a really, really good approach, right? Because let's face it, most people in a BNI meeting are often going to be focusing on other things. You just got to keep them zoned in, right? So if you're kind of almost working to dot points, which is really, you did really well on that just to keep them focused. So I just, both the presentations, both you guys, how do you feel about it? How do you both feel? How do you feel you both went?
I feel like I need to slow down a lot. I feel like I speak at 500 miles per hour all the time. So I probably need to find out a way to slow myself down while talking. Other than that, I felt it was all right. Yeah,
you and I are both exactly the same when it comes to that, Ben. So you and I probably speak faster and louder when we're excited. So it's probably not so much. Maybe what you could do then is just give a little bit of a pause. Even if you're noticing yourself doing it, just give a bit of a pause before the next part. That sort of, because I reckon, as you said, I didn't notice that, but if you're feeling that you are doing that, then that's maybe something you could look at. How about you, Lauren? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I thought I went all right. Try my best.
I think you did better than all right. I think you did awesome. How did our guest enjoy that? You must know a lot more about Diffy than you probably did before, Tim, but how did you find that?
Yeah, no, really good, good to the point. I remember, so I think you've taken this from the longer speech that you did back when I visited you at your BNI, and you guys presented that really well. And you're right, less is more. Get to the details, and I think that will capture a lot of people's attention. So you did good.
Yeah, well, both of those are in 6 minutes. So, and I think you're quite right, Tim. That's my goal, really, is to make these guys that they're. I would think both those presentations is probably better than any presentation I've given. so I'm very happy with that. Won't focus too much on this, guys, other than to say we're in our last week. Me and Adrian will get new details how we're tracking. Hopefully, we're both still going okay in our BNIs, but we know that doing well in BNI is just about turning up. Thinking of who you can introduce people to, doing your one-to-ones, inviting visitors, and doing your CEUs. That's basically what it's all about. We've mentioned this already. We're getting to that phase now. Anybody got any issues or questions around booking themselves in? Where you can, get someone to invite you, but you don't have to do that, right? So I know a few people have sort of thought, I'm waiting for someone to do, to get back to me, that sort of thing. Well, realistically, you can just book yourself in. If you need help with that, just let me know. But realistically, just go to the BNI website, book yourself in. Particularly if you're finding you're waiting on people, right? Then this week, as I said, if you're going on third week, I think I might have said to you, let's not go the following week. I'm changing my mind. I'm thinking now, if you went this week and you now know that that's the BNI for you, then go as the applicant the following week. Yep. So let's start completing those applications. Send them through to me, please. I'll fill in my part of them, and then we'll forward it to who we need to forward to, so that when you're going on your third time, you're basically going as that applicant. Ben's already mentioned that he's going to London this week. Is anybody able to and wanting to go to Sydney this week? I'd like to get it. Clearly, WA, we're not talking to WA here. I understand that's tough for you. But anybody that hasn't been that would like to go, I would suggest to you that if you can, keep up appearances. You'll well and truly enjoy going to Sydney. So, and we'll probably go back for a second visit, Trish and Emily, I'm sure at some point as well. But yeah, keep them in mind. Again, you can either have Tiz will probably invite you along if you want to have Tiz invite you along. The main thing just to go through here is that I did say, just because we had a couple of minutes at the start, in terms of this week with ongoing and some new projects. So clearly we have our, now we've handed over. So Siri, basically Siri's got 1 or 2 projects she's holding on to. Siri, what I realized, I want to just have, we probably just need to have maybe an hour. There's just a couple of things just so for us to talk through, mainly around clearly the fitness and health, well-being side of things. But the other thing that I realized is that there's a couple of, in Hootsuite, which you can access and Andy can access. I realized that we could probably have the other marketers doing the same, particularly where we've got some issues. Not all Facebook and Instagram, all the Facebooks are in that Steve at Hootsuite, but not all the Instagrams are. And so we need to get all of them in. We need to fix where we've got any integration sort of stuff. Does that make sense, Siri? Yeah, so we'll just maybe book in an hour in the next 24 to 36 hours just to kind of talk through that, if that's okay.
Yeah, good. I'll just talk to you afterwards.
Yeah.
You can just do it today if you're free.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Prospects. Make sure, guys, if we've met with prospects together, let's make sure we follow up on people that we haven't heard from. I do put them in my task manager, but just keep me accountable there. So if we've met with people a week or 2 ago and they showed an interest, but then they've gone missing, let's just make sure that we stay on it. Even if it's just to make sure they got the information we sent them, just see if they've got any feedback. That's the language we always use, right? If you got did you get it? And do you have any feedback for us, right? And I usually apply 3 strikes. I don't know if you want a bit, but realistically 3 strikes over 3 weeks. If we meet with someone, they said they were interested, clearly if we did an audit and consult and they haven't been coming back with, then on the 3rd strike, they'll be getting an invoice. Right, so realistically, we just need to make sure that we follow up with anybody that's given interest. We're right with, I think, PR and been talking. We've got that set up for Friday. Sydney, we're going to talk about that on Tuesday before the session with Amongst. As I said, Ben, you and I just perhaps by the end of the week, we just have a chat around what we're going to do for London. B1G1, I'd just like to have a time, an hour or so with you, Evelyn, just to talk about how we make sure that we integrate that all the way that we want to do it in an ongoing basis. They're based in Singapore, just so you know, and we'll get hopefully Masami or Paul Dunn to come along and visit us, a bit like Tim has done today at some point. I'm sure they'll do that. Andy, just want to stay on to with Melissa, just make sure we don't lose our sort of momentum there. And the other thing is I need to create a web page for that, right? So I just need to talk to you about that. Emily and I, and then Snapchat sort of on the heels of TikTok a little bit. Jake, we've talked about just staying on merch. And Siri, I think again, it's probably something I'll just maybe work with you a little bit around. There's some collateral stuff that I need to get printed, just digital printing at this stage, but then I need to update the brochure. But I'd like your help to be accountable to that, right? I keep moving it back a week. It's getting to the point where, particularly as people start to get into BNIs, that I want our brochure to be in the form that now acknowledges that we've got you guys all involved in the business. So I think that's not bad timing. I'm really surprised how well we've done. So yep.
You said earlier that you want to book in a chat about a new applicant.
Yeah, so maybe if you and Siri can both stay on just for 15 minutes or so. I don't know if others have that need today as well, but maybe if I could just touch base with you and Siri about a new applicant that happened on Friday after the BNI meeting on Friday. So she was actually attended the BNI Thrive meeting, as did Trisha and Anthony. And so you probably know who that applicant is then, Trisha and Anthony. So her name is Lauren also. So, but she would be Vic. But she does have the qualifications that would make her someone that we'd probably want to talk to. So yeah, we just want to make sure that we have a process that we would continue to work through that's consistent, right, and with how we mean to go forward. Yeah, so good point, Adrian. So 15 minutes or so, would that suit you too, Siri?
Yeah, just after the meeting.
Yeah, so we may not need that long. I just wanted to touch base with you on that, that's all. All right, I'm going to stop sharing and we can go around the room, Adrian. But before we do, we might get a photo by Siri. Well, I'll stop sharing and then Siri will do a photo. I've got a suggestion. I've got a million of them if you want a suggestion.
Okay, shoot a suggestion.
We've got Tim Beanland with us, so we could do time out for Tim.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You laugh, so that must be good.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
All good.
I don't think it's not yet. Can we do another one?
Go again. Okay, we'll go again. Time out for Timmy. Oh, I realised how close I am. I'm going to go right back.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, looks good.
Sweet. All right. Adrian, you want to take us around the room?
Are we giving Tim a chance to speak?
Oh yeah, let's go around the room first, and then Tim will. Then we'll go. Then we'll go to Tim. Tim, go last.
Hey, Sarah, you're first up. What do you have on for the week?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to that presentation on Thursday, and then I'll be meeting up with Steve and talking to you.
Yep.
Just with that, Siri, most of these people that are on that Cuppa series are actually on LinkedIn, so I think I'm connected to that lady. So if we enjoy it, then we might even, we might even get her to visit at some point. But maybe seek her out on LinkedIn. She's, just so you guys know, she was involved in the London bombing. She's a Order of Australia. She survived, clearly that. But yeah, she's a amazing lady. So I'm hoping if I don't have anything else on, I might even join you, Siri. But we'll see how we go.
Hey, Lauren, what do you have on for the week?
I've got to work out what BNI I'm going to. I'm a bit unsure. I think we're going to the one with Tamara. Is that right, Steve?
Yeah, you should absolutely go to that one this week. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that in? I don't know if it's in person or online.
So. Yeah. So maybe. So I would ask Tamara to. You've got that group chat now on LinkedIn. Just ask her to invite you. Or give your email and your phone number so she can invite you all along. If everybody wants to go, I mean that would mean going to 2. So I mean, Jake, it's up to you whether Jake wants to go along to both. But certainly you and Rhea should definitely go to that. If Jake's up for it, then he should definitely go as well. If he's up for it. Cool.
Okay, Benjamin, what do you have on?
Benjamin, God dear God, what did I do wrong? I've got the BNI in London on Thursday. I've just emailed BNI Grapevine to get the application for to apply for that one. And yeah, other than that, nothing too major this week. I've done my scheduling and everything's already done.
Okay, that's good. Rhea, you're next on my list.
Yeah, so this week I'm setting up on Friday with Tim and Steve, I believe, for 2 hours Friday.
Yep.
And this week I'm heading to BNI Gawler and probably going to the one with Lauren as well.
Sweet. If you were all to go to two, by the way, in Adelaide, if you were all to go to two, maybe have you been back to Sonja's, Lauren?
No.
You might want to, if you were going to go to two this week, like that sounds like the others might, you might want to go back to Sonja's.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have a look.
Yeah, because I'd say they're the two that you're going to probably pick from.
Okay. Sure.
Yep. That's if Ria doesn't go there too. So that's the other thing. Sorry. Adrian, who's next? Adrian, what are you doing this week, by the way?
I've got a meeting with you.
Okay.
Got my scheduling to do. We have a couple new people joined my BNI chapter, so I'll try and see if I can organise one-to-ones with them. And also have a couple one-to-ones booked in tomorrow.
Okay.
Evelyn, how's your week looking?
I'm going to the Melville BNI tomorrow. Yeah. I tried to go to theirs last week, I think, but then their address was wrong on BNI, so I kind of told them on Facebook, like, please change it. So yeah.
Hannah, how's your week?
So this week on Wednesday, I'm meeting Steve to talk about the fashion, which I'm excited for. And I am going. So, Steve, it's my third visit to the chapter this week. Should I go to my third visit and I'll do my application this week?
What day is there one? What day is it?
Friday.
Yeah, go as the applicant. So just complete the form and send it to me, and we'll go as the applicant. It just means clearly I won't be able to be in both your room and Haley's room, but that's okay. I think realistically, I'll just make sure that we send it. Yeah, so go as the applicant this week if it's your third visit.
Okay, and I'm doing that.
Yep, perfect.
Andy. I don't know if it's anyone else, but I can't really hear you. The sound's a bit off.
But now?
That's better.
Yeah. So I'm probably doing the same. So I'm going to this week's BNI on Friday at Williamstown that I'll be applying for. So I'm assuming Stephen will be there because there's 3 BNIs on Friday. And that's it.
Okay, Jake.
So scheduling for both promotes this week. Follow up Martin for those merch samples and then getting them hopefully to next week's meeting. And then also going to this new BNI on Thursday morning, which should be exciting.
Trisha, what do you have on this week?
I'm going to BNI Oasis tomorrow. It's the one that I want to apply to. And I also have the Amongst Setup and Planning plus the meeting with Tiz tomorrow, Steve and Emily. And I'm also really excited to talk about the Snapchat side project. So yeah, that's it for me.
Emily?
Yeah, so I have the and Tiz tomorrow. I'm going to go to a BNA on Friday, but not the one I want to apply for. So I'll finish that application this week, and then I'll try to go back next week as the applicant. I also have started to come up with some TikTok ideas with Steve, so that should be exciting. That's all for
Exciting.
Me. Yeah.
Haley?
I have some scheduling to do today. We'll go to BNI as an applicant on Friday. And probably just need to organise some time with Steve at some point today, hopefully, to do Velocity and whatever you needed to talk to me about. BNI.
Yeah. So we'll do, I'll have some time between the end of the meeting and 2 o'clock. So I'll just go to Whereby and we'll go on Whereby. And then if anybody wants to jump on for those sort of 15-minute ones, then I'll be on at least up until 2 o'clock. If not longer. And then similarly, I'm always going to be there after BNI, sort of that 8:30 to 9 o'clock every morning as well, right? So.
I'll see you later today then.
Sweet, yep.
Anthony. Anthony, you're up next.
He might be frozen.
Yeah, your sound is off.
He's off. He's gone.
Yep.
Back. All right. Here he comes.
I'm back. All right. So scheduling for Order Easy today. Booking in my the BNI Northeastern for Thursday morning, and meeting with Steve on Wednesday. Did we say what time?
No, I'll confirm that back with you, but it'll be mid-morning, you and Hannah. I've just sort of set aside some time already. Yep. And I'm trying to get stabilised along too at some point, but that will be separate.
Yep. And Thursday, audit consult with Hunter Professional, who's a recruiting company. And that's all.
I forgot about that. That's pretty exciting, actually. Yeah, new project coming on. So, yeah, we're happy with that.
9:15, don't forget.
What time is it again? 9:15. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm written it down. Alrighty. Is there anybody we missed?
I think I've got everyone.
Rightio. So Tim, this probably isn't. You've probably seen and heard far more than you thought you might. With you now, all of a sudden, we know you. You know us. But just to preface it, as Ria said, we've got a couple of hours on Friday. Understanding everybody that Ria will be applying our model to Beantalking with high performers. Is that correct, isn't it?
Peak performance, yeah.
Peak performers, high performers, peak performers. Yep, peak's a better word. You're right. So we're basically doing a quid pro quo arrangement, effectively. So Tim will be doing interviews. So think of it in a way, it's our version of Ria's Ticker TV, except that there's just a couple of questions that Tim would be asking along the lines of, how did you, what were you up to before Diffy Social? What was the process as far as becoming part of Diffy Social? How are you finding it? And what are you hoping, to achieve? We've got them sort of dotted out a little bit. Tim will be a better reader of those questions than me. Clearly, what I thought might be the idea is that maybe Adrian and Siri might be our first two off the bat, only because their experience is different to everybody else. They were kind of part of the originals. And then we just kind of go boy, girl, and we'll try and mix up the states, that sort of things. But yeah, does that sound like the sort of plan that worked for you, Tim?
Yeah, that's perfect. I think the only thing we missed there is something we thought that would really separate this and make it cool is having a time limit of about 7 to 10 minutes. So it's not a long interview, 45-minute thing. It's sort of 7 to 10 minutes to really just give a snapshot. But what you'll then see happening is because of the sort of 7-month period, will eventually have this catalogue of how have you been going over that period of time, and something really cool to look back on is sort of, I think that's the grand vision, right, Steve?
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome, because clearly what would be good to have, that means you'll have a little video that will sit on your showcase page. So that'll just form part of your overall spec. So as Tim said, the idea of 7up was to sort of repeat them. If any of you have ever seen that documentary, there's a UK documentary, but the idea is that basically over a sustained period of time, that will keep coming back, and it'll move from how are you doing to how you've been doing realistically in terms of every 7 months, or maybe it's 7 to 11 months. I like the idea of 7 to 11 up. Maybe that's what it moves to, given there was 11 marketers hired. But the idea is that it's every 7 to 11 months maybe, which probably just means annually. We'll just keep going in terms of how you're going. So the idea is that we do at least probably one per week. And then even the way that we share, clearly Tim has plenty of other content. So for us, in terms of how we manage Tim's project, then we'd virtually have a retro type podcast that Tim did. We'd have a new podcast that Tim did, and then we'd have a Diffy podcast that Tim did. That's what I'm thinking at the moment, as far as Ria and how we manage the project for Tim as well.
Yeah, cool.
Did anybody have any feedback or questions around that? Doesn't say.
I guess the last thing I'll say is, yeah, also it's not really a scripted thing. Interviews are more interesting when it's a conversation piece. I mean, the podcast, I don't know if you guys have listened to the podcast that I did with Steve, but I didn't really send him a list of questions there. We had sort of an overall idea of what we were going to talk about, but yeah, usually, so yeah, nothing to really stress out about. I think that's the last point to kind of make on that is, yeah, it's just relaxed and having a chat. But yeah, that'd be the last thing I'll say about it.
I have a feeling that my Wi-Fi is starting to play up because you're the only one. You're the only one that's moving on my screen now, Tim. Everybody else, usually Andy always looks really handsome, but everybody's looking really nice in a frozen pose at the moment. So I reckon my internet's just about had enough. All right. So basically, we'll be in contact from Tim and from ourselves. We'll put a bit of a schedule out, a little bit in the same way as we've done the presentations. We'll put a schedule out that just lets people know when it's likely that Tim will make an approach around setting up a time to interview. All good? Oh, now people are moving. Haley's head's going up and down. There's some thumbs up. It's awesome. Cool. All right. I'm going to click